All right. So hello everyone. Welcome today for this great session we have starting off September Career Quest. We have Heather Rainville and Anne Marie from Fastenal who will be joining us today to talk about all the exciting career opportunities that they have available. Again, my name is Hank. I work in our Career and Professional Development Office on the Employee Relations team here at WGU, and we are excited to connect you with a great employer just as Fastenal. So, with that being said, today I am going to pass it over to Heather.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Hank. So my name is Heather Rainville. I'm a regional recruiter here in Fastenal. I'm actually officed out of our Orlando, Florida office. So thank you, everybody who's made it on. I see that there are quite a bit of you from across the country. One of the great things about Fastenal is we are a global company, so we do have a wide network of available opportunities for students across the country. So, at the end of the session, feel free to reach out to either myself or Anne Marie, and we can direct you to the local recruitment team in your area, or even direct you to a district manager or those opportunities that are local to you. So a little bit of background about Fastenal. We are a wholesale industrial distribution network. That being said, we pride ourselves on our business to business sales opportunities as well as our supply chain management. Um, our company was founded probably about 50 plus years ago by Bob Curlin, our trustee president, well, former president, along with two of his friends. So these three guys had a dream of um, vending machines for fasteners and nuts and bolts to build that vending machine system across the US. What they didn't take into consideration was the customization that some of the potential customers that they had were going to need for the products, which in turn blazed the trail for our current profitable business to business sales model. So, through our purchasing, delivering, and um, purchasing, sourcing, delivering of products to our customers at the lowest prices, on time delivery, and where our customers need their products delivered to. That's how we are able to assist our business partners to remove those costs in their supply chain and allow them to focus more on what they can provide their customers, and do the best for their customers. So primarily we focus recruiting early talent development. So that being, freshman, sophomore type candidates. And we're 100% promote from within type of company. So, we're grassroots, get your foot in the door. You definitely want to um, be able to get that base level. Our entry level opportunities are our warehouse associate and fulfillment associate positions. Those are our bread and butter for campus recruitment activities. Typical day in warehouse associate roles would be more of a shipping, receiving, and packaging type of model. Uh, there are opportunities for internship as well as career progression points within the business. Um, Internship opportunities are definitely a huge focus for us right now. Um, for me personally, I'm actually trying to drive through our oh gosh, now I'm trying to blank our registered apprenticeship program. So we're trying to find those key areas of opportunity for students to come in um, and get those registered apprenticeship hours. Um, Anne Marie, I'm not sure what you're seeing in your area of focus for your students within your area. Is that something that you would care to weigh in on?
Anne Marie, are you able to come off mute?
If she can't, I can just move on to. So I have a couple of videos as well that I'd like to share with you guys. That'll give you a little bit more information about how Fastenal partners with students and career services to bring more of the on-campus learning as well as a holistic view of what we can do, what we do provide our customers as a business, and things like that. So I have a couple of short videos that I'd like to show the students, if that's all right with you, Hank.
Yes, you can go ahead and you have presenter access there, so you should be able to share your screen.
Okay. So since I'm new at this, might take me a minute to figure it out. Okay. So I am here. So
shop in Winona, Minnesota, to a worldwide partner of industry.
we need to restart
What's
this.
gone into that, and what is continuing to fuel that
Yes, that'll work.
growth?
You know, one of the things that I
Sorry.
Fastenal provides a great experience for students because they get a lot of the real world experience, and they can see what a relatively young company that has grown from one shop in Winona, Minnesota, to a worldwide partner of industry, what's gone into that, and what is continuing to fuel that growth.
You know, one of the things that I really value about Fastenal, and one of the things I talk about with students and with faculty about the company, is the fact that not only do they want to give you all the tools to be successful with their organization, but they also do a really good job of making sure you're a good fit with the company.
Since I've been here at Fastenal, I've been working 30 hours a week and then doing school, whether that's 5 classes, 6 classes, or 7 classes. There's plenty of flexibility and stuff, and Fastenal has given me that, where it's a perfect balance where I can do well in my classes while also grow here at Fastenal.
I think the nice thing about Fastenal is that you have a variety of jobs that you hire for. And so it gives students the chance to try one thing, see how they like it, talk to their supervisor, talk to their mentor. And then if it isn't the best fit, shift to something else within the company. That's really what we want. We want students to start a career and to continue in it and grow. And Fastenal is one of those companies that offers all of that.
I've been with Fastenal, this will be my 15th year, and I started out as a part-timer. I think we're a great place for somebody to potentially have a 35-year career. It can lead into so many different things. They learn the business locally, they learn it from the ground up, and you know, we have opportunities in sales, we have opportunities in marketing, finance, management, and so really it's a great place to start, and then figure out kind of where you want to go from there.
We try to give our students real world sales experience. In that way, when they do go out into industry, they already know what's required of a sales job, they already have sales skills, and they are current. And we love partnering with Fastenal because it gives students all kinds of sales experience. It kind of eases them into the world of sales, so they start out maybe at a store, but it's still B2B, not B2C. And then eventually they get their own territory and so on and so forth. Fastenal is one of our key sponsors, and they were able to provide panelists that shows, even in a male-dominated industry, Fastenal's leading the way, opening doors for women to be successful in the area.
Fastenal, the opportunity just came, and it really impacted me in such a positive way. It's such a great opportunity for me to have, because now I'm learning so much, and it's just really helping me get through some of these tougher classes. And yeah, it's just an overall great opportunity.
It's not very often that you can have a graduate come into a position and be job ready, where they have the technical skills and they have the critical thinking of a real world experience.
We really hope to get involved early in the student's college career in some way. That may look like having festivities or handing out water at a freshman first day event on campus, just to be there and help people understand who we are, all the way to senior year when we are doing advanced sales classes, mock sales competitions, and we are trying to help students grow in those skills. So when they get out into the real world, they have those skills and they've practiced them in a real life scenario.
It's been an amazing experience. Everybody who I've met on the blue team is absolutely awesome. The balance with doing it with school is also super sweet. It's something that I'm very excited to do, to be able to be in a certain role in school, while also at the same time knowing that you have possible career advancement in the future with the same company, just from having that connection here and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to transitioning my skills that I've learned here into a different position in the cities.
So that just gives you guys a little bit more information about the types of opportunities that we're looking for and looking to assist you guys with, whether that's career exploration, if you want to, just one-off do a ride along with somebody within a branch local to you, just to see what a day in the life is like, at one of our branches. As far as like marketing or IT profession, or even like executive or C-suite, those are more opportunities that are local to our Winona, Minnesota headquarters. There are some opportunities within like the Indianapolis, Ohio region, for some of those opportunities, as well as local to more of our distribution hubs. And I'm not quite sure exactly where those might. I know there's one in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure there's one in one of the Carolinas. I'm pretty sure it's South Carolina. But then there are opportunities along the West Coast as well for some of those other types of positions as well. Again, if that's something that you're interested in outside of, sales or supply chain management, that's something that we can talk about at the end. But, as far as opportunities, our careers, we're looking for those types of students that are, looking to build upon what they're learning in school and correlate their outside internship or part-time positions to what they're actually learning in school, in class, and get that real world experience. And if that's something that you feel you'd be interested in, then, definitely reach out to either myself or Anne-Marie, or look on our careers page to find out what the opportunities are local to your area. Again, we're, across the globe. So, don't feel like if you're an international student that, that's going to exclude you from anything. So yeah, Hank, I don't know what else I can add. I can show another video with regards to like case studies, the types of customers that we have on sites with, and, different service level opportunities. We do handle municipalities, manufacturing industry, you know,
And I
I
and I
guess.
think I think Anne
sports
Marie.
venues, those types of, like arenas and things like that. You know, there is a learning curve. When you do come on board with us, it's probably about a 6-month learning curve because there are so many products and so many different types of customers and vendors that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. There's a lot to learn, and we don't expect anybody to, just come in and start rattling off part numbers. So, but there's opportunity abound, and we're looking for that early talent.
And
Yep.
that's and
And
that.
can you hear me now?
Yep. There you
Yes.
go, Anne Marie.
Woo, there we go. Sorry to keep you hanging there, Heather, for 20 minutes.
No, that's okay.
So my name is Anne Marie. I'm also one of the regional recruiters here at Fastenal. I have the entire state of Michigan, and I have a sliver of Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois as well. So if you are in any of those markets, I would be I'm your direct contact. But if you are interested in a career opportunity with us and you're outside of my market or Heather's, feel free. I'll drop my email in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me, and I can put you in contact with the recruiter aligned with your region. To Heather's point, we have different regions, but we all work very well together in the sense that, for being a virtual team, I talk to them more than I talk to my brother. We're constantly in contact, and we all have kind of the same goal of kind of getting early talent into a company who is invested in your future. If there's anything that kind of Heather drove home just now in the video that she showed, is the endless opportunity for growth. My regional vice president started off as an intern, and she is now the first female RVP within the company. And this has been her only role. And I see that quite often in our region where people started off in an internship opportunity, or they started off part-time while going to school, and then they were promoted to full-time upon graduation, and then their career just kind of excelled from there. And now they're district managers or regional roles. So it's a really good company if you're looking for that career growth as well as personal growth. I don't know if you touched on it yet, Heather, but we do have something called the Fastenal School of Business. And within that, you kind of have the opportunity to take classes or courses. We have virtual trainings as well as in-person trainings. And it is required that we have our full-time colleagues take 30 hours of continuous education, and our part-timers take about 15 hours. And what's nice about this is the content that's available could be anything from Fasteners 101 to time management, how to manage stress, how to manage work-life balance. And I've had the chance to work at a few different Fortune 100 companies, and working for a company who prioritizes personal well-being and mental health over, how to just fast track to the next, top salesperson. That's what you need to look for when you're looking for an employer. So being able to, I kind of digress, but being able to kind of grow as an individual and professionally, I think is kind of our sweet spot and what kind of sets us apart from other companies. We are, as Heather mentioned, we are international. We're in, I think, 23 or 24 different countries. We have 24,000 employees throughout the globe, and we did 7.5 billion in sales last year. So we're a massive company. I like to tell people we're the biggest company you've never heard of because of that business to business piece that she was talking about. So that's just kind of my spiel for the Midwest. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them or connect you to either roles in my market or get you in contact with your regional recruiter.
So I'm not sure if any students had any questions for us, if we could give you any further details. What's our favorite aspect about Fastenal's culture? For me, it's definitely the family-like work setting. So the regional recruitment team is a little bit different than what actually happens within like the branches and the on-site. So each individual branch or on-site operates as its own individual business unit. One of the great things about Fastenal is the decentralized culture as far as the business models. So you kind of develop your own little family within your business unit. But the recruiting team is definitely my family. It's my sweet spot, as Anne-Marie eloquently put it. So Anne-Marie, I don't know if you want to give a little shout out.
Yeah, definitely. It's similar to Heather. Our work setup is a little bit different from the rest of the company. But something that I see a lot is, working, whether I'm on the road working virtually or in the branch working side by side with our branch employees. One thing that I see is kind of we have our 4 values, and I feel like everybody in some way, shape, or form kind of lives and breathes our values. And it just allows you to work with good people. We come in, we have fun, we joke, but then we also roll up our sleeves and get down to business. If somebody needs help delivering product and everybody's on the road and I'm here and I have a Fastenal truck, I have zero pride that says, okay, let me put my stuff to the side and help the team here get their job done. Because at the end of the day, if our clients aren't happy, it cascades down. So I really like that we have the culture of get it done and get it done together, regardless of, your role, who you are, what you do. So that's kind of my shtick on that.
Right. So question from Ashley, and it's actually a really good one. How did Fastenal handle supply chain issues during COVID? And funny you should ask that, because neither Anne-Marie nor myself, you weren't with the company then, were you?
I was not with the company at that time, no.
Yeah, neither was I. I've heard a little backstory. So because Fastenal was considered essential employment, COVID really didn't affect us. We just had to, manage the mask wearing, hand sanitizing, and that kind of thing. It really didn't necessarily affect our supply chain or delivering our products to our customers. So we actually had a huge spike in revenue during COVID because we were a part of that essential business. So.
Yep. And what I heard from one of my local markets here in Michigan was actually during COVID, where a lot of companies kind of fell short on the supply chain side. Fastenal thrived. We manage our own logistics. So from the minute our product leaves the hub until it gets to our customer, it's always in the hands of a Fastenal employee. So we didn't really have to struggle with the whole freight recession that they were going through and all of that. We were able to kind of, as Heather said, conduct business as usual. And actually we had one of the, I don't know if I'm able to say names or not, so I won't say names, but one of the largest supply chain companies that you and I all use daily actually came to us, and we were able to help locally with their supply chain. So long answer short, we thrived, and I think a lot of it has to do with how our business model is executed.
Right. As far as IT positions, we would have to sort of maneuver that issue lightly. So there are IT positions, but like I was saying earlier, they're mostly focused at our corporate headquarters in Winona, Minnesota. There are some opportunities at our outlying hubs, but those positions are more few and far between. We'd have to address that, more focused depending on where you are in the US.
There's another question in the chat as well. Does Fastenal encourage cross training if we hired for an open role and express interest in supply chain aspect of the business?
Yes, absolutely. So as far as career progression, which is why we love early talent acquisition, getting those first and second year students in as part-time employees. With our internship program, because it's modeled through our supply chain associate, which is basically the right hand to the branch operations manager. So the supply chain associate, you're going to be getting operations, you're going to be getting management, you're going to be getting HR, you're going to be getting, you're going to learn every single role within the branch as far as sales, account management, collections, all of that, purchasing, receiving, sourcing, vendor management. You're going to be learning all of those different types of things within the supply chain associate role. And once you've done that, once you've completed that, then we can, or, alongside your request, obviously, determine what career trajectory you want to take your next steps, whether it's into operations or whether it's into, sales or marketing or, things like that. So we're there to help you and guide you into the best role for you. And with the help of the Fastenal School of Business and the programs that we do have available, you can take advantage of those classes within our business to help guide you towards your next role.
Yep. And I did just drop a link in there that kind of is a pretty visual that perfectly captures what Heather was just saying.
Thank you.
Of course.
Different types of projects that we're most proud of. Well, for me, we're the premier supply chain manager for Gillette Stadium. So I'm from Boston. So that's my most proud of. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
So,
and we're also the official supply chain partner of the NHL. So when you recently saw, when was it? A couple months ago, when it was the Cup playoff. Fastenal is actually in the ice because we are the supply chain partner.
Yeah.
So, but
and then we're also and then we're also part of we also partner with Roush Racing or RFK Racing, which we sponsor the number 17 car. Chris Brochet, is that his name? Probably. I'm probably slaughtering it. So if you see number 17 trolling around the track, that's that's us, or we sponsor that one. So
I just saw. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I just saw a really great question from Melody regarding the internship part-time position. So if you're interested, our internship program is a little bit different than your traditional internship program. So a lot of companies, you do go online and you look for the word internship and you apply, and it's a 10 to 12 week program in the summer. At Fastenal, we have an internship program that is 10 to 12 weeks, but it is kind of at the discretion of our employee what they need, as well as what the leadership is able to kind of work with at the time. So essentially, everybody comes in part-time. And, when you're interviewing with your district manager, that's when you're just kind of open to say, I'm looking for a 12-week internship. And some of our district managers will bring you in for the 3 months, knowing that that's your goal. They're okay with it. And you kind of check your boxes and move on. But what we really encourage is people to come in as part-time associates, whether it's supply chain or fulfillment or sales, and kind of stick with Fastenal for a couple of months, learn who we are, learn our culture. Like Heather said earlier, it can take up to 6 months to fully understand how our company functions and how branch life is. And then once you have an understanding of the company, then that's when you speak with your leader and start, the 10 to 12 week program regarding sales or supply chain. And once that's done, we hope to keep everybody on part-time so you can continue applying what you're learning in the classroom to real life experiences, especially if you are a supply chain student. you'll see a lot of things that you're learning in the classroom kind of come to life. And that's what's so cool about Fastenal. So to answer your question, Melody, you would go online and look for those part-time roles. And then while you're interviewing, just have the conversation, I am looking just kind of for the internship opportunity, or I'm looking to come in part-time, grow along the way for a couple of months, couple of years, while also completing an internship. And then we can work with your school to get it accredited or whatever you need on the back end. But that's kind of how the internship position works with Fastenal. You want to add anything, Heather?
Yes, actually, I do. So, one of the great things that I like to add, as far as the internship, well, we do encourage you to, stay on board after. We do realize that, sometimes it's just a one-off, but you are discounting yourself from the full Fastenal experience if you're not here for the long haul. But one of the great things is part of your onboarding training, you are logging on to Fastenal School of Business and taking those classes that you would typically be taking through your internship. So while you're doing your onboarding training, technically, if you're planning on doing your internship, those accredited hours through the Fastenal School of Business onboarding will reciprocate. So you don't have to take the same classes over again once you decide that it's time for you to do your internship.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And another way that you can just see a little bit of flexibility too is, let's say you start this fall and you're off Tuesdays and Thursdays and you're able to work, 15 hours a week. But then next semester your classes change and you're able to go up to 25 hours. Our district managers are really good about working with the needs that kind of you need as a student in order to succeed within the company. Again, and just driving home that promote from within culture that we have, that we really truly invest in our people and our employees. And we would rather, you've already invested X amount of time into us. We want to help you get to where you need to be versus, you did your 12-week internship, you're out, let's hire in the next person. So that's kind of why we operate that way. It's back to our promote from within culture.
Right. Because when you look at the total cost of trying to hire somebody, it's 300 times their annual salary is how much it costs to hire a new person every time somebody leaves. So that's just another food for thought that that's why we like to promote from within and keep our newbies on, and we like to keep them happy. And Melody, I do believe I will be having some positions coming up available in the Fort Myers area, so reach out to me directly.
And there was another question in the chat from Joshua. Will Fastenal help with relocation coverage?
So unfortunately, we're not in the financial position to offer relocation assistance. But the good news is if you're at a current location, we will, do as much as we can internally to provide assistance to find you a job local to where you want to move. Yeah, but we don't offer relocation assistance at this time now.
Right. Thanks for answering that.
Yeah.
Another question, Emily, I know you kind of answered a little bit. As far as Emily's from Indiana, what projects that you have been involved in at Fastenal that you're most proud of?
Oh, I think we did cover that.
Oh, yeah.
When we
No,
talked about Gillette Stadium and
gotcha. Yeah, sorry. I'm just going back through the questions. I know
yeah,
we
no,
kind of
that's
jumped
great.
around a little
Thank
bit
you.
there. All right. Does anyone else have any other questions you want to drop in the chat? I can see if I can get you off mute. I know we're having some difficulties, but I'm glad we were able to kind of get those questions answered there.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to take the full hour to go to go over.
And
I mean, I could show some more videos if you guys are interested, but I don't want
uh,
to bore you to death. I can always send the links in a Word document for you to check out.
yes.
We did
So
just get
there.
another one. Yep. Do you have any advice for students on how to stand out on their application for your company? Me personally, as a recruiter, I'm not looking for the highest GPA. I'm not looking for someone who's in all the top classes. We're looking for people who are just good humans. Highlight where you're, a captain of a team, or maybe where you're a lead currently at work. We understand working with early talent, you're probably not coming in with years of experience, but you do have a lot of transferable
Soft
skills.
skills,
Yep.
transferable soft skills. Yeah.
So definitely think about where what you've accomplished in life, whether it's sports or clubs or work. Maybe you're an older sibling and you have, 4 younger siblings who there's an age gap, and right there's time management, how to, manage multiple personalities. You have a lot to bring to the plate. You just kind of have to think through. What I like to tell students when I work with them is look at a job description for a job you're applying for and highlight 4 of the points in that job description and think about how you can tell your story through those bullet points. So for example, if it says, must be able to, remain organized while multitasking, anyone can have an example of that, whether this is your first job you've ever applied to or you're coming in with 12 years experience. So that would kind of be my advice, is just, think about those transferable skills and showcase who you are. Don't, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but at least within Fastenal, we're not looking for the highest GPA. We're just looking for people who are good humans and are looking to come in and kind of hit the ground running.
So Joshua had a question with regards to customer supply chain support role. Hopefully I answered that question. Is it the same as the supply chain associate? And the answer is yes. With the customer supply chain support role, that's an on-site specific role. So it's a supply chain support role specific to a customer on-site. So position's the same, just it's specific to an actual customer site. So it's not one of our retail branch locations, like our brick and mortar offices. So it would be on a client site, on a customer site. Let's see.
So we have a question from Kristen. How would you recommend students to prepare for an interview or career fair to help them make a positive impression?
One of the biggest things for me, obviously dress appropriately, even if it's a virtual interview. You want to make sure that you're at least dressed appropriately from the waist up, or as much as the person can see you. You know, try and avoid the likes and the and the don't use fillers. If you need to take a moment to think about what you're going to say, take that moment. There's always room for pause. Not everybody has the right words at the right moment. As you saw me at the beginning, I was stumbling a little bit. This is my first virtual career fair, so I was taken aback a little bit by my face popping up at the bottom of the screen, and where did I go? And do a little bit of research about the company that you're interviewing with. Know what they do. Don't just show up at the interview thinking that, oh, well, they know what they do and they're not going to ask me about it, but yeah, they will. They'll ask you. So what do you know about our company? Make sure you know what the company is, that the role that you're applying for, and make sure that you've aligned yourself and your skills to the role that you're applying for, and bone up on the role that you're applying for before you go to the interview.
Yep. And if I could add one thing to that, Heather, What I tell people too is when you're going to the career fairs, go to a company that maybe you have zero interest in at all and introduce yourself and talk to them and kind of get your jitters out of the way, and then go pursue the companies that you're researching, you're interested in talking to. I mean, Heather and I talk to people for a living. I talk to hundreds of people in a day, and I still get nervous. So having that initial conversation with somebody kind of just helps you warm up and get the jitters out. And 9 out of 10 times, the recruiter knows exactly what you're doing, and they're happy to help you talk through it and help you be in the position to thrive. One thing that I've been in recruiting for 12 years now, and one thing that's kind of true for all of us is we're in the business of helping people get their futures in order and helping them get where they need to be, regardless if that's Fastenal or not. Heather and I we're here to help, right? So if you come up and you have questions about how to present yourself or this or that, 9 out of 10 times, any recruiter you speak to at a career fair is going to understand and just kind of get those jitters out of the way.
Yeah, for sure. And also, if you want to, I know LinkedIn has this fantastic tool where you can actually record yourself interviewing, and it'll give you an AI critique of the playback. I'll share that with you, Hank, because I have it somewhere. But I'll share that information with you to share amongst the students
All
at
right,
the end. So cool.
I can definitely do that. And just one additional question to follow up with that interview prep, especially with Fastenal. Do you work directly with only companies or individual customers as well? And this is from Jason.
So for the most part, because we're a wholesale distributor, we primarily deal directly with companies. We're trying to get away from the individual customer model where, that individual customer is coming into our store saying, hey, I need, 12 of these nuts or 12 of these bolts. We're trying to break away from that. And we're trying to move more towards an on-site business model. And reason being, it's more profitable for us to actually be on a customer's site versus having to pay to lease space to support our products and all of that sort of stuff. So if you know of anybody, no.
Is there any other questions that we have for our recruiters while we have them here?
I'll drop our emails once again for anyone that may want it. Again, reach out to Heather or I with any questions you have. If you're not sure who to reach out to, if you're not in the state of Florida or the state of Michigan, she and I can do our best to get you in contact with the recruiter aligned to you to help you.
Yeah. And another little tidbit of advice is get a LinkedIn profile and make sure that you're only using it for professional purposes. It is a networking tool, but you want to make sure that you keep it professional, and make sure as far as your social media that you remove any and all unnecessary political / personal views kind of thing, because once you put it out there, it's out there. So you want to kind of keep that stuff close to the vest.
Yeah.
Because Big Brother is always watching.
One last question from Eddie. What about people who have a CCNA? Any advice for someone who has only a certification when breaking into tech?
So
I was going to say, can you even tell me what a CCNA is?
I think it's a certificate within technology. It's entry. I just Googled it. That's the only reason I know. Entry-level IT certificate issued by the networking hardware company Cisco. So it stands for Cisco Certified Network Associate.
Trying to break into my biggest piece of advice would be your next career opportunity is going to be through networking. It's not going to come from you actually applying to a job directly. It's going to be through a networking referral. 100%.
I would also say just double check the jobs that you're looking for, that you're applying to, and kind of going through the requirements to see if, they have something that says or certificate equivalent, or something along those lines, or, education equivalent. A lot of times, if the company does have flexibility in the sort of person that their type of candidate that they're hiring, instead of specifying which additional certificates they would hire, they would probably just put the lingo, into, equivalent certificate. So kind of look for that lingo when you're going through job descriptions, to see if it's a company or a job that they're willing to move forward with certificates. I would say, like Heather said, a lot of it will be networking in who you know. But if you're able to back up what you've learned and, kind of showcase that, if you make it to the interview and you're able to show that you still have that knowledge, I would think you're okay.
Yeah. Continuous education, continuing education for sure. So, I always use LinkedIn as a diving board. They have continuous education certificate classes that you can go on, especially in the IT industry, where you can constantly get continuing education credits, new certifications, and things like that. So definitely continue with your accreditation and learning. So. And then Melody just asked, will your degree matter if you want to pivot to supply chain? Hopefully I'm understanding your question correctly. If you're in a different degree program currently and you want to pursue supply chain now, it does not matter. So as far as Fastenal is concerned, if you're pursuing any type of degree or not pursuing any type of degree, if you're 18 years of age or older and you have a valid driver's license and can pass a drug screen, we will hire you. If you have the experience that we're looking for, we'll hire you. You don't necessarily have to be pursuing a degree.
All right. Well, I think that is the last question we do have. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today for this great session, starting off our career quest. If you could take a moment and fill out our survey that will be coming to you via email here the next 24 to 48 hours, that would be great. It'll definitely help with future sessions that we offer through career and professional development. A big thank you to Heather and Anne Marie for working with us and coming to provide some great insight about opportunities with Fastenal. Again, I'll be sharing their email address and some more contact information in that email you will be receiving shortly. Don't forget that we are at the beginning of our career quest for September, so we have a lot of great sessions going on throughout the month. So be on the lookout for those. You'll be able to see those via Handshake, or you will have those coming to your email directly. Again, thank you again, Heather and Anne Marie, and everyone. You have a great day.
Yeah, and I'll send you that link to the LinkedIn AI interview.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Hank.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.